So UFO Buster Radio suffered a major malfunction on Sunday, and I'm here to tell you about it. Cue the music. So this past Sunday was the episode that never happened thanks to ongoing problems with the computer. And let me tell you, I was geared up and ready to go. I was ready to blast some UFO knowledge at you that I picked up recently, but it never happened. The PC just would not get going. In fact, had the program running, and it was like listening to crickets, because nothing was recording. So after a few hours of tinkering with this madness, I finally just gave in, decided to just scrap everything and let's just start fresh on Monday. And here I am. This is UFO Report number 25. I am Manny Moonraker and I am your host today. So to start things off today, we have an article coming out of Australia from the news.com.au, and it is an article regarding basically, are aliens real? The title, as written by the author Josie Griffiths, is Are Aliens Real? All the Evidence, Sightings, and Conspiracy Theories on Whether Extraterrestrials Exist. And basically the article takes you from things as far back as Roswell all the way up to Rendlesham, and basically trying to figure out if this is just a 100-year-old paranoia that has struck everyone around the world. Now, one of the persons mentioned in this article was blogger Sam Monfort. In his efforts last year, I believe, we even talked about it back on the podcast last year. Basically, all the research that he did, trying to sum up all these so-called sightings and reports of UFOs. And the article kind of brings some of them to light. We had the 1995 video of jet fighters apparently chasing a UFO. And then there's the so-called Roswell autopsy video. And then you also get into the whole situation about Area 51 and Rendlesham, and another one about a supposed video of a UFO attacking a Taliban compound on the internet. But all of these, of course, come up absolutely and totally blank. They go nowhere. Now, it does bring to light the fact that Mr. Monfort estimated that there had been nearly 105,000 recorded UFO sightings in the past 100 plus years, and that apparently he is far from the only person in the world that believes that we are being visited by extraterrestrials. In fact, they bring up a name that I haven't heard before, and they refer to him as the artist David Huggins, who believes that he lost his virginity to a busty alien called Crescent, and that he has fathered 60 hybrid babies. And I'm not lying to you. I've got the link in the description. You guys can look it up if you're not familiar with David Huggins, because I was not. And I want to say that I've actually seen one of his paintings before, but I guess I didn't read the article or information attached to it because he's a fascinating guy. He makes old Stan Romanek look like a choir boy on any given Sunday, because David Huggins was hanging out with this Crescent chick and they were popping out babies like there was no tomorrow. Now, included in the description, I also have the YouTube video of David Huggins, and you want to check it out because it has a painting that he did of the alien chick. And just as a treat, here's David Huggins right now. Listen to this.
I don't know much, but I do know for sure that I lost my virginity to an extraterrestrial woman. My first encounter was when I was 8 years old, and I've been having them ever since. There were the Greys, the little hairy guy, an insect being, and then there was Crescent. They came into my bedroom, and we floated up. His eyes overpowered me. You hurt me, you hurt me. I just lay down on the ground, and she gets on top of me. Yes, it's real. No, it's not. It's just a dream. After I had done my first painting, I felt better. It was just a relief to get the images down on the canvas. That's the $64 question. I have no idea why me. I just don't know.
So there you have it. David Huggins, pretty much he's perplexed. You know, he had sex with this Crescent chick, and, you know, they popped out all these kids, 60 kids in total. But at the end of the day, his question is, why me? It's a question that you hear time and time again from those that say that they've had these experiences. The experiencers. What's fascinating is the alien types that he says that he actually met. And one was the Greys. We had one that looked like a Wookiee or Sasquatch with big yellow eyes. And then, of course, the manta insectoid-looking alien. If you take a moment to click on that YouTube video and look at his painting, and I don't know if it's in the article, his painting of Crescent. And actually, I'm looking at it right now. There's actually a few paintings in this article of Crescent. So Crescent looks, well, let me just do this. Crescent is pretty much naked. I guess she never wore any clothes because it would just get in the way, and you want to get to it because you got 60 hybrid kids to pop out. But in the paintings, Crescent is always naked. And basically what she is a human body. You know, she's got her boobies out and all her goods showing, but then her head is basically a gray type head with the almond eyes, but she's got a nice head of hair. You know, nice head of hair that any magazine would be proud to have a model have on the cover. And the story is that he started being visited at the age of 8, and basically in that initial introduction, Crescent was also part of the initial, you know, introductory crew that started abducting him. And they kind of grew fond of each other, and then at about the age of 17, they decided to just go ahead and get busy. Start creating some hybrid babies. What's interesting is that David, in this article, actually stated, or according to them, that he feels that this was an actual love affair he had with this ET, that the aliens, you know, the Greys, the insectoid, and the Sasquatch, were in complete control of his body during their sexual encounters, making him essentially their willing slave for breeding purposes. So to deal with his experiences, David took to actually painting these occurrences. And like I said, that she pretty much, old Crescent, is naked in all the pictures that I've seen. And in the article he even describes when he first came across Crescent in this compromising position. So apparently the relationship changed when he was 17, and he was passing through a forest on a way to a lake, because 17-year-olds like hanging out at lakes, and he saw Crescent sitting beneath a tree. Now everything else pretty much looked normal. It was a nice day. Crescent's hanging out by the tree, except that she forgot all her clothing. The teleporter did not materialize her clothing, so she just decided just to sit there and wait for him. I mean, what does it matter? They've been friends for so long. And it turns out to be the day that David Huggins claims to have lost his virginity under the tree on the path to the lake. So 60 hybrid kids later, he's still wondering what the heck is going on. It's an amazing story. I mean, I think this article really from Australia should have been based on David Huggins. And in case I didn't mention it, he is out of Georgia, and this happened in Georgia. So it's not Australia, which probably why they didn't make it the focal point of the story. But I am sure that Crescent got around. Crescent was not just having good times with David Huggins. She probably was planet hopping, getting her groove on. And, she decided not to do this the tested way. She wanted the experience herself. Now, according to the little article that I put in the description regarding David Huggins, there was supposed to be a documentary that was going to come out regarding David Huggins called Love and Saucers, The Far Out World of David Huggins. The audio clip that I got apparently is an audio clip from that film, so it might be something you want to see because it'll give you an in-depth look. I know I'm going to look for it. I want to know a little bit more about David Huggins. At the time that this article was written, he was 70 years old. So I don't know. Is David Huggins still alive? We're going to find out. It'll be interesting to see if after he's had all these experiences and he's fathered all these babies, if towards the end of his life cycle, before he dies, is Crescent going to come back and visit, kind of visit him one last time, just for old time's sake. Just go ahead and get it on. That's UFO Report number 25. Again, my apologies for my technical mishap. If you like what you're hearing, follow me on Facebook. We have 2 Facebook pages, Manny Moonraker and UFO Buster Radio. At UFO Buster Radio on Twitter and at Manny Moonraker on Instagram. I thank you again for listening. You guys are fantastic. And we are on the road to 100,000 downloads and plays. All made possible by you guys, because all I do is talk a lot of nonsense on my perspective of this topic. And there's a lot more ways to look at this, but we're going to continue to explore it because the phenomena is real. And we got to talk about it in one way or another. See ya.